friends, welcome back to Thursday Cooking with Kevin. Thank you very much for coming along and joining me this week. I am doing a recipe out of a very old cookbook. This is back from when we grew up, my mom and ourselves. It's a United Church Canada cookbook. Like I said, it's old. Today we are doing apple muffins. It's a very simple recipe. I'm not using any of the power mixers, anything like that to do it, because as it says the instructions in here, we're just going to add the dry ingredients in once I do all the wet and do it with the least amount of mixing. That's what it calls for. The other thing I'll do, because it's in a cookbook, I'll take a picture of the recipe and I'll add it in at the end of the video. So if you want to pause, take the recipe down, you can absolutely feel free to do so. So the first thing I have to do is peel the apple. Actually, I'll read out the ingredients first. So apple muffins, we need 1 egg, 1 cup of white sugar, 1/4 cup melted butter, 1 1/4 cup flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 chopped apple. That's for the muffins. And then for the mix, or there's a topping that goes on it. It's a 1/2 cup brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and some chopped walnuts. So we will get busy. Now, you'll have to excuse me here, because I'll tell you, I have not peeled an apple in a very, very long time. So I'm going to do my very best to get this, to get it peeled. I hope everybody has had a good week. Yeah, as you can see, last weekend Kelly and I had some guests for dinner. Our 2 guests that we're allowed to have in our home. Kelly and I got out for a little bit on Saturday. We didn't do too much because we were having guests over. And these are, by the way, Macintosh apple. They're normally the best apples to cook with, and when you ask Kelly, it's the only thing you can do with a Macintosh apple is use it to cook with. All we're doing is we're just going to be chopping this apple up. Now I have one of these nice handy dandy apple cutters. I like it because it just gets rid of that core. Really nice. We use that all the time. And all I'm going to do is we're just going to chop up these. I'm going to cut those into a little bit smaller pieces. And I believe, it doesn't say in the cookbook, but I believe it roughly a dozen muffins. I'll find out once I get the apples all, or not the apples, but everything all mixed. With only a 1/4 cup of flour, that's kind of what I'm guessing. I have somebody here. Come here, bud. Come here. Here you go. I don't know why he's skittish taking it. He loves apples. And I'm not really particular. I just want apple bits chopped up. I don't get too particular. And I'm just going to add that into my bowl. That's going to have my wet ingredients. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to do our flour. We're going to sift our flour. So we're going to add our flour, our cinnamon, and baking powder all together. So we are at 1 1/4 cup flour. Then we're going to add in a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Quarter teaspoon of salt. Mix those dry ingredients. Set those aside, and now we're going to do our wet ingredients. So we got the egg, my egg, and my sugar. Sugar. I know it's on here. So 1 cup of white sugar. I don't want to put the whole cup in because I used it in the flour, so I don't want to put it in the sugar bowl itself. And the butter. Mix that up. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to add in the dry ingredients. It says with the least amount of mixings, but I just want to make sure that that we're getting all that's on the side. It's almost coming up in a dough-like consistency, so I've never made these before, so I don't even know how much to put in each paper. We'll try and do it the best to spread it out. Okay. So now what we're going to do, tastes good. And put that aside. And now we're going to do our brown sugar. Half a cup. Some more cinnamon here. And that's going to be another teaspoon. And our chopped some chopped nuts. It doesn't say how many. All right. Okay. I'm going to put some gloves on because these aren't like it's not like a cake batter mix. Like I said, it's got more consistency of dough. Kind of gonna have to guess how much I'm putting in each muffin tin. They're not gonna rise too much. But I also don't want to fill it right up because I want to leave that space for our topping. Boy, you can smell the apples and everything. Thinking maybe if I, just make I just kind of take a little bit out some of these. Be careful because I don't want to ruin the papers and stuff. Smaller one in there. Reshape these down. Okay, we are ready. Topping on. And the oven goes to 325. Now, there's an awful lot of topping in here for just a few of these, but hey, we will we'll be generous. No, why not? There we go. These are ready to go in the oven. As you can see, very simple, very easy to make. And these will bake at 325 for 20 minutes. So when they are ready and out of the oven and ready to eat, we'll bring you back for a taste test. So there you go. Muffins are out. I am going to attempt to taste this with one hand. Now, I have to tell everybody I had to put them in longer. Actually, bake time ended up 30 minutes, but here we go. Those are delicious. They're good. They're heavy.
They're amazing.
They're heavy. They're more of a like a heavy cake style than a fluffy cake, I guess. Hopefully you know what I mean. Anyways, so that's it for this week for Cooking with Coven, the apple muffins. And as I end every week, I don't know what I'm cooking next week, but I'm sure Kelly will tell me. See you next week.